Welcome back, you guys, to the Money Bros YouTube channel. This is a really exciting video for us, as this is the first time where we're going to have real live fans with us here on a video. Okay, but really, today I want to cover a topic that I feel like every personal finance channel or any channel on YouTube that's talking about finance really should cover. And there are some channels out there that have covered this topic, but I just haven't seen as much coverage as I expected. American citizens have just surpassed over $1 trillion in credit card debt. This is the first time that that has ever happened. In an article published by CNN Business, it says American credit card debt levels have just notched a new but undesirable milestone. For the first time ever, they've surpassed $1 trillion. And just only in the last quarter, credit card debt increased by $45 billion, landing the total debt at $1.03 trillion cumulatively. To me, this is such an issue, and it needs to be talked about. And not only that people have so much credit card debt, but that there isn't that much coverage on the topic, even though it's an incredibly problematic number. And in this article, there's this graph here, and as you can see, credit card debt has been pretty steadily increasing for many years, although there was a significant drop in 2021. But now those rates of debt are just skyrocketing again. And I think that we need to talk about what we can do, not only for those people who are in this credit card debt, but for those of us who just want to totally avoid this problem or potential future problem altogether. So let's talk about that. All right, the first thing that you need to do if you are in credit card debt is to stop using your credit card. And I know that sounds difficult, and it may not be something that you can totally stop all at once, but if there's anything that you can stop using your credit card to buy, just do it. If there's food or other basic life necessities that you have to have, I guess that you can keep using it for that, but we're going to address other ways that will help you be able to stop. So first off, stop using the credit card. It's just not worth it, especially if the purchases are things that you can use or get by some other means. The more you use the credit card, the further you're digging yourself into this hole. The second thing that you can do is you need to look at your budget. If you haven't been budgeting carefully or haven't been budgeting at all, you should look at your budget to see if there are ways that you can cut back. Total up every dollar you've spent across any type of card, cash, anything like that, all of your accounts, total up how much you've spent. Look at some of those things and split them into items that you have to have. I mean, we're talking about food and shelter. Those are pretty much the basics, maybe gas to get to work or things like that, but we're talking about the bare necessities. You need to figure out what things you have to have and then figure out what things are not totally necessary. That could mean a cable bill. That could mean kids' cell phones, or, and maybe it's not getting rid of them totally, but in this process, as you identify things that are not totally necessary to survive, we're going to be looking for ways to get rid of those costs or to lessen those costs. So for a phone bill, maybe you are on a phone plan that costs X amount of dollars every month, but if you went with a different provider, you could save a little bit of money. Those are the types of things that we're going to start cutting back on. And I mean, we are going to cut back hard. And I know this is a painful process, but this is one of the only ways that you're actually going to be able to make back some of that money so that you can make the minimum payment. And that's the whole reason we're cutting back on so many of these things, is so that you can make the minimum payment on your credit card. That's going to allow you to avoid the interest and to get to a point where you can breathe a little bit. And once you're to that point where you can actually make that minimum monthly payment, you're in a really good spot. Next, what you're going to try to do is you're going to take anything extra from your budget that you've identified that you could potentially throw at your credit card. Now that you've made the minimum monthly payment, now we're going to throw anything extra at it. And this could be just from cutting back, but this could also mean taking a second job, doing some gig work, doing freelancing online, anything side hustle. On this YouTube channel, we talk about a ton of different side hustle opportunities, so go peruse some of our other videos that talk about some of these options. Go make some extra money. It could be mowing your neighbor's yard. It could be babysitting. It could be selling fruits and vegetables. I don't care what it is. Go find a way to make some extra money. This is going to help you, again, get some more breathing room, and you're just going to attack this debt like crazy and just pay down as much as possible. And again, I know that it feels really difficult and overwhelming, but I promise you, if you do some of these things, it's going to help you get out of this debt. All right, now for those of you who just want to avoid credit card debt totally, I have a couple ideas for you that should help you do this. The first one, and I already addressed it a little bit, but live below your means. Don't ever spend more than you make in a month. The goal is to never use money that you don't have. And so if you only spend what you make and even spend less than what you make, so you're always saving, this is going to help you have a buffer. That money that you're able to save every month will act as a buffer to ever having to potentially ever use a credit card at all. The next thing that you can do is just pay cash for what you buy. And when I say cash, a debit card is essentially an equivalent. Cash is best because it hurts to spend, but even a debit card is better than a credit card. And finally, the last thing that you can do is just know yourself. If you struggle with spending money, it's not going to be any easier with a credit card. And so if you are getting to the point where maybe you're having a hard time making the monthly payment on your credit card, or you don't have a credit card yet, but you're scared to have one because of your spending habits, it might just be smarter not to have a credit card. I don't think credit cards are bad in every situation, but there's a reason why credit card companies are profitable. It's because most people lose. And so if you're one of those people who you think you can beat the system, then fine, but most of us can't, and it's probably just smarter not to have one in the first place. I hope this has been really helpful for you. I know that there's a lot of you out there who are struggling and need help and want help. Please comment below and we'd be happy to answer any of your questions for you and provide any help that we can. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.